Hey everybody, welcome back to the Movie Game Show podcast where we talk about movies, shows, and games. And joining me as always is Gator and Jay. How you guys doing?
Hello, Mike. Doing well.
I'm doing good.
What's dude?
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, well, let's just dive in. We got a lot to talk about. And I figured you might as well just kind of get right into the Star Wars drama. As you guys have heard, so Taika Waititi just they had the premiere of Thor: God and Thunder, and of course there was this moment where he asked Natalie Portman if she wants to be in a Star Wars movie, and she's like, hey, well, I was a pretty important character of the prequels, but yeah, I mean everybody's kind of really shooken up as far as the Star Wars
Yeah, I'm
community.
really mad about it. I don't think it's funny at all.
Okay.
And by that, I mean, I think it's really funny.
Of course. Yeah, no, I think it's funny too. But it's just, I think the other aspect that is funny is like, you would never see this from a Marvel fan base, like if somehow he thought he forgot that, like Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man or something. That might be an extreme, but like I don't think there'd just be this crazy hiatus. But Star Wars fans, I mean, they've just been beaten and bruised over the years over all the Disney stuff, like because there's so many of them that are loyal to George Lucas and his vision, and feel that Disney kind of came in and ruined quite a bit of that.
Well, I think Ryan Johnson's
Yeah.
vision was such a good vision. And I definitely mean that. And I'm not being sarcastic.
Sound kind of sarcastic.
Well, maybe
I
to
actually
you.
kind of like I actually kind of like the Last Jedi personally.
Yeah, see? He's
So,
not being facetious at all.
so what this beef is between the director and Natalie Portman?
No, the beef is
It's
between
The
Star Wars
fans.
fans and in their expectations. And
Oh yeah, and if
so
there's one group of fans you don't want to slight, it's two groups really. It's Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans. You don't want to mess with them.
yes, but I think Star Wars fans are like even worse. Like cuz like I mentioned, the whole transition thing with Disney, and there's this vendetta out there for Kathleen Kennedy. Like people like hate her, right? And they like there's like Pitchfork Nation going on right now in the Star Wars community, which is well deserved. Like she is trying to take pretty much anything that George Lucas um, had a vision for and wants to make it her own. Like she fired him from as a producer of The Acolyte, as an example, which is a show she's doing, and the Kenobi show was like, she had creative control over that, kind of as some loophole because of the movies. But there's a lot of people that don't necessarily like the direction of the first season, and I can understand that, obviously. So yeah, I mean, it kind of is what it is. But Taika Waititi's Taika Waititi. I mean, he directed one of the Mandalorian episodes. What? How many was it? Just one? I mean, like he did such a fantastic job on the
He
Mandalorian.
played the robot, the one
Yeah,
robot
yeah,
droid.
that's right. He played the robot. I mean, like,
I think he could have been joking though too. Like even if he was forgetful, it just makes it more funny.
yeah, he kind of
Yeah,
likes trolling people, like you do, Jay.
he loves trolling people.
Just don't troll too much with these Star Wars fans.
He
Yes.
he's on the record. I'm pretty sure it's Uncle Bear's show, but he's on the record saying that there are two things that he loves in this world: his children and trolling fans.
Well,
That's verbatim.
the thing is, we kind of have to come to grasp with the fact that Disney is taking Star Wars yeah, in a different direction that caters to a younger audience more, right? More kid friendly, less
Mhm.
dark. I mean, there is still going to be some darkness, but it's
I think
not as
there's
dark, and it's not as dark and gritty as the original trilogy was, and they're just making it more accessible for a larger fan base.
I mean, I like I like Rogue One, I like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. I really think that like Taika Waititi is a great director. Dave Filoni and John Favreau are obviously like they're doing a great job, obviously with The Mandalorian. But I think with like Rogue One, like Gareth Edwards, I'd really like to see something from him Star Wars related. Like I think
well,
he really loves you can see in Rogue One that he really loves the franchise and the movies, and it's just really
yeah.
shown in that movie
Well, we do have
particularly.
Andor. We have Andor that's coming up. It's going to be at the end of August, which is based
Is that
on
him?
it's based on Cassian Andor, the main character of Rogue One. Well, one of them, right? Right. It was
Hmm.
uh, the male main character of Rogue One, and the show is going to take place 5 years before Rogue One happened. Basically, going through probably really the early days of the Resistance. They're going to take you through that, and then season two is going to take you from like it's basically going to go like season one will happen in 5 BBY, which is like 5 years before, and then season two will take you from like 4 BBY up to the events of Rogue One. So you're if you like that style, Jay, we're actually going to be getting that style very soon. But there's other things down the pike. They got the Bad Batch, they got that show coming out, and then they also got the Tales of the Jedi series. That's probably actually what I'm the most excited about. I'm a huge Clone Wars fan. Actually really got into the Rebels. I really like that show. And it's going to be more of that animated style, but it's gonna that's all gonna take place prior to episode one. So we're gonna see like Count Dooku as a Jedi and Qui Gon Jinn as a Padawan, and uh, probably Sifo Dyas. We're probably gonna see him and other characters like that. Even potentially Darth Plagueis. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I haven't heard about that one yet, so I will definitely watch it when it comes out.
All good stuff. All right, so um, let's move on to there's been this other kind of leak that happened, and I thought it was pretty funny. And Jay, you get a kick out of it because you're a huge Doctor Doom fan. But
Hmm.
so Howard Stern was doing a show, I think it was like a week ago, and he had a hot mic moment, where they go to a commercial break or whatever, and he basically said something along the lines of like, "What's John Favreau's number?" Like, I gotta call him. I'm so stressed out over Doctor Doom and uh, doing this and this whole thing and blah 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 blah. And he's basically like implying that like either he's playing Doctor Doom or he's in a movie that's featuring predominantly Doctor Doom.
Howard Stern as
Wow.
Doctor Doom.
No
What?
way. No chance.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
chance.
yeah. So I was just wanting to get your take on it. You don't think of it? You think he's maybe in the movie, or do you think he's just kind of pulling a farce, knowing his ego and the narcissistic behavior he usually?
I mean, he's been
Yeah.
pretty tame since he's gotten over this series. Like he's like I remember when he used to have like Artie on the show, like and when he first started out when we were a lot younger, he was a lot more reckless. Now he's a little bit more tame, and I think he's about to retire too. I think he's about to. I was reading somewhere that he's almost done with the show.
Yeah, he's fallen from, I don't know, fallen from grace, I guess you could say.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
I don't know. Just like he's not, yeah, he's not what he used to be. I mean, I don't want to talk shit about Howard Stern. pioneer in the shock jock world, and just
He is the shock jock.
he is the OG shock jock. Many would say.
I like him, but I
It's
also think he's a tool. Like I think he's
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 very
good.
pompous. Yeah, he's pretty full of himself.
I just, from what I get from the show, is like he used to have all these people that used to work for him, and he used to do all these sketches, and then like, some of them have quit, and some of them have their own problems. Like Artie.
Yeah.
There's a few other guys too. I can't remember their names, but I remember when he went to Sirius, there was like this big like there's this big debacle there with like now he's working for Sirius, and there's like this woman that's basically his boss that's basically trying to set him in like a more toned down PC version of himself. I mean, it's Howard Stern. Like his interviews are always great. Like I mean, he like if he has a good guest on, it's gonna be
He's a
pretty good.
terrific interviewer. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's actually among one of the better interviewers for sure.
I go back every so often and watch some older clips of
Oh,
his, and
same.
there's some great characters that come in throughout the years, namely Beetlejuice. Um, he's great. Artie
Yeah, Beetlejuice is a classic.
was high pitched Eric. Um, I mean, you got Sal, you got Benji, you got all kinds of guys
Yeah.
and girls that.
Artie when he was on there, like you
Oh
can't.
yeah, Artie was his co-host for a little bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was probably the heyday of the show. That was probably when it was its funniest
Golden years. Yeah.
golden years for sure. But yeah, I mean, as far as him as an actor, I don't really know
I
what
don't
he's
see
done.
him doing it.
He's done Private Parts, right? He did that movie.
Dallas movie.
He did do
Um,
Like the 90s.
Was Meg Ryan in
what
that?
else has he been in? Even man, I don't even know.
I made like cameos in movies. Like it's Howard Stern, man.
Yeah, well, he
I don't see him getting a big role. Is what I'm trying to
I
get at.
don't see him
okay.
doing movie.
So I was watching. I think what I saw this on was the John Campea show, and somebody had like raised the point that I think it maybe was 20 years ago he got caught like lying and doing the same thing, like where he like he pretended to say something on a hot mic situation and make some
Oh,
claim that was completely like false, and he was doing it just for attention. And knowing like that, to me, I just think that's what he's doing because I
I
know
mean,
how
yeah.
Stern, and he he's so narcissistic. Like he like I think like I remember watching like uh I think he was like on Conan. Maybe it was Conan O'Brien late night show, and I was watching an interview with him and Conan, and he was talking about the fact that like he wouldn't be satisfied unless he's like the most like viewed or listened to person in the world, and like anyone who's like, you know, out there in the world that like is basically
He
an
wants
adversary
the
to him.
he
Like
wants
he
the
No way
limelight.
nowadays. Like
yeah.
nowadays, back in the day before, the internet and radio was like prevalent and we didn't have like internet yet, he was number one. You know what I mean? Like on the
He was.
radio, he was without it, like him and Casey Case in the top 100, probably like the biggest fucking guys.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah. By the way, Casey Kasem says hi, Mike,
Oh,
from the
yeah.
grave.
I
From the
love
grave.
him. I love
That was a great interview. Our first interview was with Casey Kasem.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe we got him, to be honest.
Yeah, me too, man. He's a nice guy.
He took a chance on us.
It's fantastic.
But yeah,
So
back to Doctor Doom though. To answer
yes,
that question, like I don't even like John Krasinski, and you can get his wife to be Miss Fantastic. What is her name?
Is he
God,
rumored to be in it?
the Invisible Woman.
he is like he has played Mr. Fantastic already in the Marvel universe on Disney.
I
Oh,
think I saw something out there though that suggested that he's not going to be Mr. Fantastic, but
Oh, he's
that
gonna be
is
Mr. Fantastic. If he does a Marvel character, he's already solidified it. Like, I need it now. If he does anything, it has to be that. John
so if
Krasinski, if
he's
you're
not
listening,
Mr.
you have to do it.
Fantastic, you would boycott the movie?
I mean, at this point, I'm already like half chub for it. You know what I mean? It's like you've already given me a taste. You know,
You're telling me that Jim Halpert is a deal breaker for you.
Jim Halpert has to be Mr. Fantastic at this point, since I don't want to spoil Gator, but we talked about it earlier. Since those scenes in that movie that just came out on Disney, well, it didn't just come out, but it came on Disney Plus. Mike knows what I'm talking
Is
about.
it the Doctor Strange movie?
It may or may not be that movie.
Oh, okay. All right. That's on my watch list. I promise, guys.
A certain person gets murdered.
A certain person. Yeah, don't say anything for Gator. We weren't
Oh
talking
my
about it. But
gosh.
anyways, for Doctor Doom, like I don't care if they do a Fantastic Four movie. They should just straight up do a Doctor Doom movie. You can rope the Fantastic Four in there with him because Doctor Doom just like he basically overshadows them in just coolness and awesomeness or whatever you want to call it. He's just sick, man.
So you'd like to see a Doctor Doom movie?
Oh yeah, but I don't want him to do it like the old Fox movies or the '80s movie that was like went to straight to VHS, whatever. I remember they showed it on Conan once, and it was just like, what the hell are we watching? It was really bad. But I mean, I don't
Kind of
know.
like the
Maybe
original Dune.
the original Dune was great. Don't you dare talk bad about the original Dune.
Patrick Stewart in that or something?
I'm pretty sure. I think he was. Yeah,
That movie was a turd.
that movie was awesome. The only problem with it was David Lynch didn't get to do
He didn't
his.
have the time. Yeah, it was rushed.
It was rushed, and he didn't get to put it wasn't like his final vision. It wasn't like I don't know. I liked it, but there's so much controversy with that movie, and then there was that documentary about the guy who was trying to make um the Dune movie that never got made, and then all of his artwork was like inspiration for like aliens and like everyone like drew from all this artwork that went into this Dune movie that was never made.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
well,
new Dune movie's
the
pretty.
way of
I
the
mean, I
world.
like them both. I don't know. I saw when I was a kid, so it's like me watching Akira or or like when I'm 12 years old and my brain is still developing. It was just like incredible. It's like Tron, or like Jurassic Park or even Star Wars.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new Jurassic Park, but I heard it's just straight like muff cabbage.
Really? You don't like Chris Pratt? I love Chris Pratt.
Did you watch the movie?
I watched the first one he did, and I was like, I mean, I was entertained. Like, it was okay.
Yeah,
Now, is it
word on the
Jeff
street.
Goldblum?
Yeah,
You know,
word
is
on the street is it's not good.
Hot garbage.
oh,
Hot garbage.
well, say what you will. Anything with Jeff Goldblum in it, I will watch.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, man.
That it
You
does.
you owe it to Jeff Goldblum to see the new Jurassic Park, Mike.
No, I don't.
I don't know him shit.
Well, I
I
do.
enjoyed him in the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he was great.
I also enjoy him in the original Death Wish, if you've seen that, as the gangbanger.
Oh.
What about the second Jurassic Park movie where he was the main character?
That was also good.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
This newest one, straight trash.
But you haven't seen it yet, so you
From
can't
what
just
I've
say
heard.
straight trash.
From what I heard. I'm not going to see it because it's trash.
I'm gonna see it when it comes to a streaming platform near you.
Well, good luck with that. All right, so let's okay. So next on the show department, let's go into. All right, so you sent me a text about Jon Snow sequel.
Yeah, there are talks, and I think George R. R. Martin confirmed there's going to be a Jon Snow Game of Thrones. It's a sequel, but it's like it's after everything. So I don't know if it's going to be like like past the wall. I don't know if he's going to like raise an army and go south. I don't think he would do that because he's like he's Jon Snow.
That would be
But I
interesting.
mean,
He went.
Well, I mean,
He went north of the wall, right?
yeah,
Uh,
he's north of the wall.
he's one of the
well,
wildlings now.
so who's on the throne, right? It's okay. We're talking after this
Bran.
race. Bran, right? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The
Tyrion
Starks
is his
are
hand.
literally Tyrion's his hand.
Okay.
Bran is literally like all of the Starks are like in Westeros. They're like the most powerful family because like Sansa has the Northern Kingdom, which isn't even a part of the Seven Kingdoms anymore. So it's the Six Kingdoms, and then Bran is he's the king of the Six Kingdoms.
Was he betrothed to anybody?
No,
Who?
because
Betrothed.
no, because he can't. They
Bran?
said that he can't have kids
He can't
because
reproduce.
and then the whole thing
Yeah,
in the
his
last
Willie
episode,
doesn't work.
yeah, the whole like Tyrion said because they were asking like, well, what he can't father any children, and Tyrion was like, well, maybe that's for the better, because they turn into shitheads.
We got Arya. We got Sansa still around.
Yeah,
I don't
Arya's
know.
around. Sansa's still around, but yeah, what I would love to see, and
Kit Harington.
I wish they would have like kept her alive somehow if this is what their plan was like I loved Jon Snow and was it Ygritte, the redhead girl?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the
That was
wildling.
She's
ah
married to him in real
You,
life.
you know nothing, Jon Snow.
They're
yeah.
married in real life.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well then they kind of, they kind of fucked that up.
Yeah, Egret's dead. Daenerys, well, you know what they could do? I mean, I don't know. I can't speculate. Game of Thrones fans are like, they're like Star Wars fans towards the end of Game of Thrones. But I mean, I was like one of the only people that was like, I'm seeing this $1 million production and I'm just like blown away by everything they do. So, but I don't know. I guess I'm an easy sell. I'm not an easy sell, but it's like, I don't know.
Well,
Simpleton.
Maybe I'm a
if
simpleton.
you're gonna see Jurassic Park, you sound like a pretty easy sell to me.
Yeah, put on my fucking hat with
Oh,
the propellers on it. Go see it.
dinosaurs! Wow, that's a big one.
Well,
You never
Jeff
know, man.
Goldblum's in the movie. It's got to be good. I gotta see it
You
now.
guys are just
Let me go
jealous
get
that
my
I
popcorn.
enjoy things more than you do.
Come on,
I'm
start
easier
something.
to find joy in things.
Start something on fire.
Ooh, firework.
Ooh.
That's me. Happy
Ah.
go lucky, Jay. That's me.
uh. See, I'm a book purist for Game of Thrones, so
Oh
The
yeah.
books are better
it
though. They're
started off
100%. They're
started off
100% better.
fantastic. The show started off great. It was very true to the books, and then they had to stray away because there's just way too much. As usual, there's just way too many storylines and events in the book that they can't throw into a show unless they do like 20 seasons.
Yeah, like
But it was
The
Yeah, the
Tully
books were
mom.
oh
good. The ones
yeah,
I
yeah.
read.
And the Dorne, they don't even go into Dorne at all,
Yeah,
but that's a big
Dorn.
part of the last books 4 and 5.
That's a
4 and 5. I
travesty
read
too.
those. Yep. Dorn is a big part of that. They don't yeah, they don't even really go into it at
Barely
all.
scratched the surface. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I like Kit Harington, and Jon Snow was obviously a fan favorite towards the end, so could be interesting. I don't know. Have they said like
Yeah,
who's
I
gonna
mean,
who's gonna
any
direct it or who's gonna produce it or anything like that?
well, I imagine somebody good.
Yeah,
Obviously, they'll put out a budget for it. But to me, okay, I'll just be honest, okay?
more
To
dragons.
me, no, no, I'm more excited about the Jon Snow thing than about the dragon thing. What do you guys feel?
You don't. I don't know the House of Dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. That sounds pretty good. Even George R. R.
I mean, it
Martin was like, he was saying it's
sounds
pretty good.
good. I mean, I understand like the what happened back then, um, and that's interesting. But as an example, okay, so I'm probably in the minority here, and I understand. As an example, so season one, season two of Game of Thrones came out, okay, and I couldn't wait to see season three, so I picked up the third book, and then I read all the books up to the next one. But I never went back and read the first and second book because I already saw the first and second season. Why do I need to read the book, right? So I I don't need to know. I don't need to see what happened back then, unless you want to go like way back and do like the Brand the Builder stuff. Like I want to see what like happens after the story.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because God knows if Martin's ever going to finish the books. So
Maybe not.
he's certainly not going to write a series after A Song of Fire and Ice is over
Listen,
with.
man, everyone can give him hate about not releasing this book on time, but a big portion of my life has been spent watching Game of Thrones on TV, and as of this date, I am 283 hours invested into Elden Ring and all of the lore.
That's
Was he
it. Those
part
are
of
rookie
Elden Ring?
numbers, man.
I mean,
Jay,
there are people.
was he a part of Elden Ring or?
What do you mean? We already talked about this. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was like a creative uh, director or maybe like a creative producer.
he came up
Ah,
with the lore for it for the most part.
very interesting.
Yeah, it's the greatest game of the year. Game of the
Oh,
year. I don't care what you say.
yeah,
It's number
and I
one.
know he takes forever to write because if you read his books, read his writing, it's fantastic. He's my favorite. It's just the way he describes things and like I've never had a book like give me so much heart pumping action as the first time I read um it's the first time I went through the Game of Thrones books. Um I it's hard to explain but you would like get addicted to reading it because you wanted to know what happened next and like your heart would be pumping during the battle
Uh,
scenes. It was
no, I
yeah, man,
understand. I understand.
it,
Game of
it was a
Thrones,
lot of fun.
those books were captivating. But
Absolutely.
so is the show because like the Battle of the Bastards, like see that's why I'm like hell yeah, like I want to see Jon Snow. Like I
Yeah,
want to
Battle
see
of the
Jon
Bastards
Snow in
and
action. Like show me that type of show me that. Like I want more of that.
Battle of the Bastards, the frozen lake scene.
Oh
Hello,
Mhm.
yeah,
good lord.
100%,
And
absolutely.
even like the Battle of King's Landing was kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked it, man.
There were some cool parts into that with the dragons, and
Yeah, dude.
yeah, I just thought that was a great part.
Yeah, it was for sure. So, let's segue. Let's talk a little bit. We got to segue into some video games. Um, so we know the God of War trailer came out. So let's start with this. This is news that's not new, but I wanted to make a Kotar video, so I made one. Just on my thoughts. I played the original God of War that came out in 2018. I beat the hell out of that game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's funny because I never enjoyed any God of War game before that. But what got me was the story, and it was so captivating. And I'm pretty good at games, so I got that down. But the I enjoyed that game, but like for me, like the Kotar remake, like it's kind of hard to connect the dots, but I try to do my best with that. I think that they may draw some inspirations from the game, but if you guys played the original Kotar, which Gator I think you have, Jay I think you have too, it's very much a turn-based game, right? It's like taking the original Final Fantasy VII in doing a remake of that, right? And if you're gonna
Yep.
add God of War um, battle mechanics, then really if they're going to like create a hybrid combat system, then they're gonna need to do something we haven't seen before from that genre. Really, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're gonna combine those two fighting styles.
It's a very Final Fantasy VII remake approach, if you ask me.
That's exactly what I get into in my video. Yeah, it's exactly what I say. That's top of mind. That's me. You know, there's a lot of people who I love the Dragon Age series. I didn't
I love
really
the first
play
game. I beat the first
exactly.
game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't play the latest one that much. I actually didn't
Same.
beat it. Because I was so disappointed with the second one. Like the second one to me was like, like like Dragon Age Origins was and is probably a top 10 game all time for me, as is the
Really?
original Kotar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But because I really actually do love those types and those styles of games. But yeah, what they did with it, and it wasn't there yet, right? They didn't have the right combat mechanics to incorporate the Dragon Age, and the way that they did it, it didn't flow right. Combat didn't work right. They should have just kept the old system, in my opinion. But Final Fantasy VII Remake to me is really the first example where we've seen the hybrid system work. That's just my opinion, but
Yeah, I still haven't beaten the. I got to. I'm on the top of the city area, like above Shinra.
oh, so
Think.
you're like yeah, you're like chapter 14, 15. Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm in the I'm in the town where the girls are like, what are they? Like Cloud has to dress up or whatever. So that's
Okay.
where I'm at.
But right before the end, basically. So you're doing the where you have to go back down. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't spoil the game for you. But um,
I mean, I've beaten it, the original game. I mean, I don't see
yeah, but
myself picking up the remake again.
okay. So no, I'll get into it. So what they do at the end, so it's a little different. You know, like in the original Final Fantasy VII, you
Yeah,
climb that like super long pole, and then you have to get the batteries from
yeah,
that one guy, and then yeah, you remember that? That's not the
yeah.
way it works in the remake. Like you actually have to like you go back to Cornholio's his place and you end up meeting with this lackey guy, which is like a new character they introduce, and he takes you down to the sewers to like you go and you fight that toxic thing again, you know, like that beast, like when you originally fall down in the sewers in the original Final Fantasy VII, and you have to like immediately fight that thing that like summons like waves of like a tsunami of like sewer water on you. Remember?
Yeah.
Anyone? Okay. You have to fight him again, and then you like actually like truly beat the boss this time because in the original he runs away after you beat him. And then it takes you
There's some sort
back.
of like time warp in Final Fantasy VII. I know we're going on a little tangent here, but there's like
No, that's fine. I'd love talking Final Fantasy 7. Let's talk about it.
because how many
Uh,
Final Fantasy VII games are scheduled to release? Like there's three or
so
four of them.
So yeah, here's the deal with that. So it sounds like it's gonna be a trilogy. And
Oh,
the next
okay.
one that's coming out is called Rebirth, right? So the first one's remake, the second one's gonna be called Rebirth, and the third one will be called Re something. And the Rebirth installment will be interesting to see. There was I saw there's some kind of quote, I don't know who it was from, but I saw there's somebody that confirmed from the studio that said that like they're gonna follow the same story, which is like weird to even hear. I don't even know what that means because they've diverted from it so much. Like, so and then the other thing that was said, this is like an interview, and the other thing that was said was that Zach in like what's going on with that situation will fully understand what's going on with that situation by the end of the second one. But you may not even know about that if you didn't.
I've read in a little. It sounds like it's like a like maybe it's like something to do with time and altering time. I don't know.
It's a multiverse type situation.
Yeah.
Um, so there's two concepts when it comes to time, right? There's the multiverse approach, which is the Marvel approach, and that's basically what Final Fantasy takes. And then there's like the Star Wars approach, where it's like Back to the Future, which is like the grandfather effect. So like if you go back and you prevent your father from having sex with your mom and you hook up with your mom, well then you cease to exist.
Wait, say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. You want me to spell that again?
Yeah, just run that one more time, but
All right. So if you're playing Back to the Future, right?
uh-huh.
Right. If we're
Birds and
looking
the
at Back to
bees.
Birds and the Bees, right? And you travel back in time with a car. And when you travel back in time, you find out that your mom has a crush on you. And instead of like helping your father like like hook up with her like he's supposed to, if you just
Uh-huh.
kind of be like, "Hey, well screw you, dad. I'm going to hook up with my mom." Well, then you would cease to exist. And that's the Star Wars formula.
That's the
Opposed
Kathleen
to
Kennedy Star Formula.
no,
Just sick.
That's the George. Well, Dave Filoni, but yeah, no, it's really the George Lucas formula. But
Oh.
but Final Fantasy VII takes more of the multiverse approach.
I mean, that's kind of cool. Like people kind of they
We
want that.
we
Like
love a good multiverse.
I get to watch all the cinematics and playthroughs anyways for kids that want to never experienced it. And I mean, that's one thing I like about like if I can't play it right, I can watch someone who's never played Final Fantasy VII before completely like just play it with a set of fresh eyes, and fresh ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? We have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Jay, you've been really excited about that, right?
I mean, yeah, we got the Persona 5. I mean, you like Persona 5. There's supposed to be a TV adaptation coming out. I don't know. I
Okay, we can
think
talk about that.
yeah.
Explain
Yeah,
that game to me real quick. What's Persona
Yeah,
5
me
like?
too. I've never played it either.
I'll explain it. So Persona 5, actually a game that I really enjoy. It's probably, so there's two modern day turn-based games that to me were exceptionally good within the last 5 years. One is Persona 5, and the other is Dragon Quest 11 or 12. I don't know. But those two games, phenomenal. Persona 5, the way the game works is that you're in Japan and you're a high school student and yeah, okay, you're in, and like as a high school student you have like your friends that like you can hang out with, but they're like they're like your party members in Final Fantasy 7, right?
Hmm.
But it also has like deep like probably the most expansive deep like relationship based systems where like you and it's not just playable characters, it's NPC characters, but you go throughout your day and you each day You have a certain amount of, let's call it, actions that you can spend throughout that day, right? You can take a certain amount of actions. An
Hmm.
action might involve talking to a specific friend to increase your rapport with them, or to you could level up a certain trait or ability that you have that can help you either further enhance like the rapport you build with somebody, because there's thresholds for that, or it may help you in like combat or battle situations. um, but basically you progress through each day, and like you can technically, like on like your first playthrough, like get it all done, but like unless you know exactly what you're doing, you're not going to, and so you're probably going to do that on a second playthrough. But because there's so many different things you can do, like as an example, you can buddy up with a politician, right? And you can like spend a lot of invest a lot of points doing that. That builds up certain personas. In the you can hook up with your teacher in school, and you can like she can become your maid and like come like do massages for you.
Hell yeah!
You're like,
Now I
yeah,
like the game.
Now we're talking.
yeah.
Mike would
So it's
never. He would always restart once he got to that part.
well, I mean, that's the first one I hooked up with was the teacher, obviously. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just try to hook up with all the chicks.
So with that being said, how do you see them making a TV adaptation with that?
I don't care.
You don't care. Well, I mean that
It
brings a good
sounds
point.
it sounds interesting though. It's like I know
It's a
they have a
really good
lot of
game.
games like that in Japan where
It's a really good game.
it's like a build your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, depending on who you spend your time with and your energy on, that changes the story accordingly.
Right. And there's actually if there's one game that's coming out that's going to probably follow that system, um, that I would expect, and anyone who's listening can expect, is probably the Harry Potter game that's coming out. It sounds like it's very much like Persona. So basically, you're going to be a student, except it'll be more kiddie. You know, it won't be as fun, in my opinion. Where like you probably can't like hook up with teachers or do, but who knows?
I
But
remember watching my brother play. Was it L.A. Noir? Was that what it was called? Like
Rockstar game.
yeah, similar type of game where you're a detective, right? And you've got to walk around and inspect the different things and ask questions to the witnesses. And depending on how you answer, there and if you have previous like experience with them and rapport with them, they're going to answer you, you know, it, differently
certain
each
ones,
time. Yeah,
certain Yeah, it probably took a lot of elements for Persona, because again, right, Persona 5 is Persona 5. I like downloaded a ROM at some point, and I played Persona 2 for a while. It's I mean, it's way dumbed down. But I think Persona 4 is pretty decent. Xbox is going to be porting that, I think, onto their system. They announced that at the summer game thing. So I don't know if I'll go and play it. I got enough things on my plate. But for people, anyone who's a Persona 5 fan, Persona 4 isn't that far off from what I've heard. So that could be a fun one.
Kind of a segue tangent with
Yeah.
with video games being ported to the PC. I'm pretty sure there've been talks of some PlayStation games coming to the PC. I know that a lot of PC players, there's been some news that they're going to PlayStation's going to let you play some games from PC, right? If you have
Yeah.
that service on PlayStation. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I'm just speculating. Like for games like Bloodborne, there's going to be a lot of PC players that um, will be looking forward to games like that. Something that they can finally play on their PC. And with Gator talking about LA Noir, what do you guys think about I just want to know, like, we can just briefly, talk about it, but when do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 will come out?
Oh, good one.
No,
I
here's the better question.
Mhm.
Will Grand Theft Auto 6 come out before Elder Scrolls 6?
So here's my thought process on this, right? If I'm Rockstar Games and I'm Microsoft, um, I'm going to release those 2 games right around the same time if I can, or avoid it entirely. Like like to avoid, oh shoot. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
I are they even I'm bad at like following development cycles for games. So I don't really know. Plus they always get pushed back anyways, don't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Tip,
my
yeah.
gut tells me it'll be released around the holiday season for probably next year,
For
2020.
Grand Theft Auto, really?
I Are they working on it?
2023,
That's the
you think?
thing. They've said they've been working on it. It's in developments, but they still release like
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto 5 like gets so much online updates. Like
yeah.
it's incredible. It's insane, man, how like you don't think about it being such a big
If
game, but
I
it's a
if I
huge
had
game.
to guess, um, which it has no merit, I would say probably 2024 or 2025.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. That's a safe bet, I think. Unless they
Cuz
really ramp it up like in the next year or so cuz we're barely even I mean, have we even seen any like teasers
Well,
for it?
they don't
yes.
here. There's one thing I respect about that studio, is they don't put out a product that's shit.
Yeah.
Like they
I agree.
they fully flush it out, and when they release a product, it may not be ready from an online standpoint, but the product is ready.
I mean, it's crazy like I think in like the top 30 games, like you have San Andreas and you have GTA 5 on like your top 30 games of like most played or trending, Like they're not going to be in the top 10, right? Grand Theft Auto might be, but San Andreas is like still a fan favorite game.
Yeah,
So,
that was my least favorite. But like, I'm not a huge Grand Theft Auto guy. My favorite Grand Theft Auto, to be honest, it's not even Grand Theft Auto 5. It's
it's Grand Theft
Vice
Auto
City.
3 or Vice City. Yeah, I
It's
know.
Vice City. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good too.
I
Rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
San Andreas too.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. See, Gator you like San Andreas. San Andreas
Yeah,
is
like,
I
huge.
loved San Andreas. I loved like the gang fight, like capturing the gang territories,
Yeah.
finding all the golden horseshoes. Dude, I have hundreds of hours into that game when I was
you're into
a
that.
kid.
Nice.
Hundreds. Me and my brothers taking turns going on rampages.
Well, there you go.
Great game.
Yeah. And plus the voice actors too. Like Sam Jackson's he's one of the voice he's like the bad cop, right?
Oh, is he really?
Yep. Yep. He's in it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember what I liked about Vice City was this like what was like the Scarface whole thing, and I love the music, man. The '80s music, just
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. I just enjoyed playing the game. Every time I played the game, I'm like, okay. Like I remember any other Grand Theft Auto game, I would just turn off the radio. Like I'd just be annoyed, right? In Vice City, like I was just like, oh, what's gonna play next? What's gonna play next?
Mike's driving around. She's on fire, fire.
Well, they didn't get licensed to a lot of their
He's singing
music.
along.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
There's something about having that song on the background when you're just driving by mowing down pedestrians. Like,
Yeah.
Did they play that in Vice City?
oh yeah,
Oh
Really?
yeah.
Man. Yeah, I don't know. I just they're just such a it's just such a good game. Like yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. It came out what, 2012, 2013, but it's still like one of the biggest, it's one of the biggest open world games. And then talking about the studio not releasing shit. I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2. I just got Red Dead Redemption 2, by the way, Mike. Just got it. So
Oh, nice.
don't ruin anything for me.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
you
great one.
haven't played the game?
No, I'm going to consume it.
It's good. Really good story.
Yeah. I'm
Arthur.
looking.
I'm gonna try. It's been a long time. Arthur, you gotta have faith, Arthur.
Sorry, so
Lenny, Lenny, where
Is
are
that
you?
you? Is that you, Lenny?
yeah, so finally get around and play
You
that.
gotta have faith, Arthur.
That was good. That was better.
I try.
Now
Yeah,
that I don't have to
you're in for a
do.
treat, and
Yeah.
that's a
Whoa,
long game
whoa,
too,
whoa,
man.
girl, whoa, calm now, girl.
I
I
mean,
would,
with 2019 from now,
Oh,
I was
Jay,
playing WoW. So.
Jay, it's a phenomenal game.
I'd love.
Um,
Oh, I know. I'm getting
the
ready to
story
catch
is
up.
incredibly captivating. In the game mechanics are so polished.
Really.
What system did you get it on, Jay?
Probably gonna. I'm looking to, because I have Elden Ring. We got Deep Rock Galactic. I'm looking to. I still gotta do God of War. I'm like halfway through God of War. So once I
There's a
kind of
big
get around to
payoff
that.
from a story and lore standpoint if you do, which
Yeah.
I guess I won't get into, but
Yeah, I really don't know anything about Red Dead
you'll
Redemption. Like, I haven't looked up anything really other than hog tying
you'll
people and.
I'll just say if you like Marvel, I know you love Marvel, you'll
Mhm.
really love the twist at the end of the game. And it's kind
Oh
of like
wow.
it's like a jaw-dropping moment at the end of the game. And you're like, that's all I'll
Okay.
say.
Do they all
Jay's gonna
connect?
cry.
Really? Do you know what he's talking about? You know what he's talking about, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. I'm just
yep.
like, there's just been like so many games since 2019 that I've missed. I've missed Sekiro. I've missed Ghost of Tsushima. I was thinking I was gonna play, but from what I've read on the internet is that it's just like it's a game that if you really like cinematics, you'll enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. And so I was like, good. I'm gonna go with Sekiro, where my gut tells me it's gonna be a good game. So I got a few games that I'm gonna start up here, hopefully.
That's good
So
because we're kind of in a game hole. So
yeah, I'm gonna and viewers, you can if you're listening to anyone out there, like I'm gonna probably start up. We're gonna finish up God of War. We have Red Dead Redemption 2. We have Sekiro, and then Pokemon Arceus. But from what I'm hearing, is the new Pokemon games that are coming out are going to be they're basically going to be what Arceus was, but improved upon on that. So maybe I just wait. I don't know.
Just do what you feel, man.
Yeah,
I'll give you the quick take on the Pokemon. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But that's you. Like I'll find more enjoyment in it than you would.
Yeah, because I play a game for 5 minutes and then stop.
Yeah.
I have that problem too.
Yeah.
I have that problem if I don't enjoy the game. Like we were playing V Rising, right? And we play it briefly, and like we haven't really picked it up, but I'd like to. It's not like I don't want to say by any means V Rising is a bad game, right? But there are games out there that I have picked up and I played for like a couple seconds, and I immediately knew that I would not play the rest of this game.
Yeah,
V Rising, we put a couple hours in, so that doesn't count. That was a bad example.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have kept playing it, but my guy got killed, or they wiped the server, and then I
Yeah,
was like, screw
yeah.
it.
Yeah, so the thing with that is like it's Valheim. You have to have like a or Don't Starve. You have to have like a dedicated server or a saved server. But when you're trying to do PvP, like on a dedicated server, the problem with V Rising is let's say the admin characters, the admin of the server's character dies, and then they just wipe the server because they lost all their shit.
They just get pissed and go
Yeah.
scorched earth on it. Yeah.
Yeah, like their castle gets burned down or something. Like I was just talking to a buddy who I played WoW with, he's trying to get a V Rising server up, a dedicated one, and he's just gonna like scale everything to like the difficulty, and I don't think he's gonna touch. He's gonna scale up the difficulty on the monsters PVE, and then he's not gonna touch the PvP. He's just gonna leave it as is because that's how the game's meant to be played. You're meant to lose your items. It's like Rust, or Escape from Tarkov. You're meant to, at least die once and lose your shit and then come back. Maybe those are bad examples. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Alrighty.
for
Good.
the last thing, Mike? For what do you think of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie coming to Netflix?
Um, uh, who's got the staff guy? I like the Donatello. That's probably my favorite guy.
That's your favorite? All right, Gator. Who's your favorite turtle?
Who's the one with the little spears?
Raphael.
Raphael.
Raphael has size, and then I think he has
Size. Yeah.
tongas, or what are they called? They're like the police batons now.
Oh, nunchucks?
No, in the newer versions, I'm pretty sure they gave him like he just dual wields police batons.
Oh,
So
because
Yeah, I like him. Is he the
according,
bad boy?
yeah, he's the bad boy.
Yeah, I like the bad boy.
He's also for people, and I said this earlier in the text. I said for people that they don't have taste and they don't appreciate culture. Like the overwhelming like popularity for the turtles, the number one turtle is Donatello. Everyone likes Donatello. I don't know why, but they do.
well,
They love Donatello.
he's got the staff
But
and the
for the
cool name. He's
classic,
got the cool name.
Donnie.
yeah. But I mean, it's overall. Mikey is like second. He's nunchucks. Like everyone, like on all the polls I've seen,
What is there's Leonardo? What does he have?
Leo's the leader. He's got swords.
Dude.
He's got dual swords.
I guess yeah. My middle name's Leonard, so maybe I'll be Leonardo.
Oh.
See, that's a good pick. If you ask me, that's a good pick because
What's
there's
yours, Jay?
not a lot. Oh, mine's Raph, 100%.
Yeah, buddy.
Raph, Mikey, and then Leo and Donnie. Like that's Raph and Mikey are like they're like my top two. I don't know. Did you know like in 2019 they released an animated film called Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It's actually out and I have not seen it, but I have to see it. So I think I might rent
Is
that.
it the Chris Bale Batman?
I'm not sure. It's the guy.
No,
It's
it's
I don't.
the Adam
But
West Batman.
no, it's not the Adam West. Rest in peace.
Batman!
But you'll like this in that movie. Guess who voices the Joker, Mike?
Well, obviously it's Mark Hamill.
It's not because
What?
he hasn't voiced. I don't think he's voiced anything since Arkham City game. But guess who the voice of the Joker is in this movie? Don't look it up.
Jim Carrey.
No.
Troy
That's actually a
Baker.
pretty good guess.
Do you know who Troy Baker is?
No, though I never would
He's
have
the
never.
voice of Joel in The Last of Us.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, let's hope he doesn't kill himself.
He didn't kill himself. He was cornered. Oh no, we better end it before we start
We're not gonna get
going
let's
back into
not
The Last of
Us
Yeah,
again.
let's wrap this up, boys.
Time to wrap it up. Okay, so everybody, thanks for listening. And again, well, the show has changed. The name has changed. But we'll obviously just, you guys can plan on catching us in a couple weeks, and we'll look forward to that. Otherwise, everybody, have a good night out there. We'll see you in the next episode.